Never been tested. People been bowing to him since he was born. Do you feel me? He ain't had to fight. He ain't had to walk home from school and get his ass whooped. He ain't had to survive in the hood, in the murder capital, the murder town. But he's master, sensei. Y'all feel me? We don't see our own mastery and mastership for a reason. And we can only see the black man as a master if he imitates the Asian style and he's accredited by the Asian. Or if he gets a degree from the white man, which is a master's degree, huh? Show me a black man, one black master outside of their system that have nothing to do with Asians or white people. Show me one. Anywhere. Where's the word master applied? Come on. Look at that though. So if we're not under the Asians or the white man, under the lodges, you ain't no master. The white man makes us, if we're not under master, we cannot be masters. Even though we have mastered something. All of us have mastered something. And we get no credit for it, and we won't even give one another credit for it. Maybe basketball, I'm sorry. Michael Jordan. Come on. So this thing of reverence is important. I can't put too much energy towards that. White people go, and they don't just read the books like we do. They go over to Africa and revere Africans. Go in the bush humbly, bow, worship African people living today. We'll never worship no nigga. Huh? We should just give me the book. Fuck the nigga. The book is not enough for them hippies. I gotta go be among him. I gotta sit there and revere him for my salvation. They go and find the darkest Hindu they can, don't they? Sai Baba. The dark Krishnamurti. The darkest Hindu that they can find to go sit at his feet and revere him. They don't say, well, I just bought a book from Borders. I gotta go meet the man. The statue is not enough. They need a living guru. Do y'all see the reverence? We found with a statue, I'll go get an African man and put it on the wall. That's all I need. I don't have to revere anyone human, anyone living. Set me up an altar. But a black man in the image and likeness and the manifestation of black divinity. I'm intimidated by that. Y'all see what I'm saying? Can't deal with that. There has a change. All black spirituality and African spirituality has become is an escapism of dealing with the reality of black divinity. Our ancestors, there was a reality of divinity there. Do we believe it is not here now? The reason we don't believe it is here now is because we have been taught not to. We've watched TV, and TV told us who we were. And now we perceive each other out of that. You know how they teach you that first impression is everything? What is the first impression they gave us of ourselves? And we living out of that impression. And that original impression that we have subconsciously been encoded with, every other thought that comes after that verifies it. And we can't think out of that unless we really do some real radical shifts. Do you follow what I'm saying? Radical shifts. So we have to change our perspective of who we are if we want to get something else. If I come among those and I can't see them no more subconsciously as a nigga, how can I expect loyalty and integrity? How can I expect them to be competent? And you approach reality based on your expectations. And if your first impression is negative, then you can't help but to have negative expectations and approach reality in a way that confirms what you expect. So you can say, I knew all along, it's just a nigga. Exactly. I'm teaching today. Then we can love a black man from a distance. Not just the dead black man, but the distant too. Meaning that any black master is good over there. But if I go over there, then the one over there is good. It ain't gonna never be the one I have access to. If I know Phil Valentine, I'm with Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett is good. I listen to Bobby all the time. But if I go be with Bobby, then it's Phil Valentine. That nigga, man, boy. It's the one I'm not with. If I go with Savy, I just Leo Africa, man. That nigga, man, I study Leola, but I listen a little bit. I go to Leo Africa, man, Savy got it. Savy got it. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It's hard for us. We wonder why the white man don't realize who we are. It's hard for us to realize who we are. We can realize who our ancestors was. We can dig them up and realize who they are. But we cannot realize who we are right now. Like a God, like the divinity of ourselves can't just manifest right now. This is impossible. That's a thing of the past. You understand what I'm saying? It cannot happen right now. You got to go through this. One brother I talked to, and I was talking to him about his divinity, man. You know, and I said, brother, you are divine, man. You're in a position to make some moves, but you keep worshiping Egypt. I said, you are the one to make powerful moves to create change, but you constantly looking to Egypt. I said, you are God, a living deity, if you realize who you are. He said, no, but you got to go through the crowd. You got to go through this and go through that. Couldn't realize himself. Couldn't realize nobody else. Unless you go through this system of this crowd. But in Tibet, Dalai Lamas are born. They going searching for the Dalai Lama. Am I right? Ain't no crap or no you got to go through. They're looking to see if the Dalai Lama has been born. They're going door by door looking for the Lama. Am I right? This is the only country you have to be certified enlightened. Commercial enlightenment. You need a USBN number. You follow? You have to be approved by the FDA to be enlightened. Here. You don't come this way somehow. But I asked you, where was all these spiritual teachers at during our ancestors' time? How did these individuals wake up for us to get to this point? What was these masters, these enlightened masters, when we was in the cotton fields? How did we just wake up all of a sudden and realize who we are? Somebody woke up. So waking up happens. And it happens without all the institutionalization, whether it's black, Afro-centered institutionalization, or whether it's white supremacist institutionalization. We are born enlightened and aware. But we're born into situations where we are not realized. Where people are not aware of who we are. It has to change. We have to muster up having the reverence for one another. It has to be. We have these collectives of people saying we're going to come together just for the remembrance of our ancestors, and we're going to create a collective, you know, just out of respect and honor of our people. But they don't honor nobody living. The collective is completely robotic and impersonal. When you have leaders and people that manifest as living beings, it becomes personal then. It's saying, you know what, I can personally respect somebody. It's not just, you know, just in the clouds. We honor all the ancestors as one non-personal, impersonal entity. But they were persons that lived. But living persons cannot be realized. That's a mental problem. If Shaka Zulu came and, you were playing the drums, some, deity in the sky, playing drums, he would knock the damn drums out your hand. He said, we get ready for battle. He went against the traditions. You follow what I'm saying? He was non-traditional. And took the war and the liberation of the South African people into his own hands. Of the Zulus. This is what happened. We use the auspices of African spirituality and African culture to ignore Africans. We use black consciousness to ignore being conscious of blacks. It happens. So we wonder why we don't build the pyramids and why we don't manifest the greatness of what they did in the past. Why we don't do that? Because we don't even see ourselves the way we saw ourselves then. We could see the divinity in and of a pharaoh then. Am I right? We cannot see that at all today. We have been given this thing where we so deep. It's about this information and not about reverence. We cannot see the living reality of something that is manifest. We cannot see it. You probably don't want to drink that one. Somebody come and they look just like Akhenaten. That's something particular. The image of Akhenaten. You follow what I'm saying? And he say, I am the return of Akhenaten. And you say, well, we all the return of Akhenaten. And you look like Ptah. Do you see how silly this African spirituality has begun? You know this individual is in the image and likeness of Akhenaten. He looked just like, put him right to the statue, he looked just like it. But you go and desensitize and degrade that and say, well, we all are Akhenaten. That means we have no reverence for the reality of things and what they are. We don't revere them. We just have this general, spooked out perspective of our history, of our ancestors. We don't realize that entity was a specific being in a specific form to do something particular. When he shows up again, we reverence him in that specific form to do something particular. It would make sense, wouldn't it? So that the same thing can happen again. But if he's not reverenced in the same way, how does the result get produced again? Because we have cereal box spirituality now. Well, one shoe fits all. We all give ourselves these names, these Kemetic names. But none of us manifest the works of nobody Kemetic. Because in the energy of who we are, we're not them. We are not them, the ones that we're saying that we are. You follow what I'm saying? And if someone shows up in the spirit of that exact manifestation, we have no reverence for that entity because we've generalized it. We all Osiris. We all are Set. We all Ma'at. We all this. We all that. But all of us ain't doing a goddamn thing. If we put everything we add up together, it doesn't add up to one thing, to what Akhenaten did. All of it together. So what will we gain with the irreverence of someone who would come in a particular likeness and image of Akhenaten? What would that do for that? It would make it just desensitize it and say, well, this ain't Akhenaten, because we all Akhenaten. I'm Akhenaten Muhammad. I'm Akhenaten Bey. I'm Akhenaten El. Y'all see what I'm saying? So we play it, we water it down, thinking that we're reverencing it. I have come in the image and the likenesses of beings, and I use Akhenaten because I've come in the image of entities that I knew was in the likeness of Akhenaten. Or Ptah. You follow what I'm saying? They was this striking resemblance of the statue. But they would never get realized as the reincarnation of it. Because somebody walking